I'm curious what your thoughts are on core versus knots and ordinals. Because personally, I think at times like I'm a free market maximalist. I think that you should be able to create and try to sell whatever you want. But then I'm a little conflicted internally because I think like, wait, we have an opportunity to change the direction of our civilization. And it seems to be really important. Can we not draw monkeys or dick pics or whatever crazy shit that we are on the blockchain? And how does the ordinals affect the decentralized element? How many people can run a node? Do we have blockchain bloat issues? So yeah, what are your thoughts on ordinals and core versus knots?
Well, it's a complicated topic. I don't know. That's like an hour long or 2 hour conversation in and of itself. But I'm not a fan of ordinals. I mean, if you want to do ordinals, go for it. You can inscribe things on Bitcoin. Um, you have to understand that the whole protocol is not a part of Bitcoin. It's some other client that's referencing and pointing to Bitcoin. And ordinals is not even new. I mean, it's sort of a copy of Counterparty, XCP. Like it's an old thing where you're kind of doing colored coins or tokens on Bitcoin, but it is a separate thing of it in and of itself. So I'm not a fan of ordinals. I don't believe in rare sats. I mean, you're just arbitrarily counting a number of a sat in a UTXO and tracking it through. But every time you create a new UTXO, you're actually destroying it. So you're just kind of tracking in your own head and saying this is that same sat through all these transactions, but it's not the same sat. So I guess that's where it all breaks down. But I mean, ordinals open up a bigger can of worms in that we've reached this sort of point in which we're arguing about spam on Bitcoin. And ordinarily, I would agree that you can't really spam Bitcoin. If as long as you're paying a fee, then it's a transaction. But it gets more complicated because Bitcoin Core has seemingly started removing roadblocks to spam. So this is where I started getting more vocal about it because they're removing things in the name of standardization and for pure logic. But there are psychological barriers. Like if you limit the op return, then you have to go out of band, and there are additional costs and risks to a miner to take these out of band transactions. And I don't think they're really factoring that in. They're only looking at things from a very academic lens of, can it be done? Okay, it can be done, therefore we should allow it. But I don't think that's the right mindset to deal with things like spam. Like there are natural things that have been built into Bitcoin to stimmy and deny spam. And those things have just been eroded gradually, bit by bit, by the current Bitcoin core developers. So I think Knots is a great alternative, and I think people should use Knots if they disagree with Bitcoin Core. The other alternative is, of course, to not upgrade to Bitcoin later Bitcoin Core versions and stick with, 2.9. But yeah, it's a very complex topic.